1, 2, 3. I didn't look to see if it was on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
His cousin. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. Right now, federal investigators are trying to determine what caused the school bus crash that killed 5 young children.
And as the city continues to mourn, painful new details have begun to surface. Today we learned of 4 of the 5 Woodmore Elementary students killed were girls. 1 was a boy. 1 was a kindergartner. 1 was in 1st grade. 3 others were 4th graders.
Family members have confirmed the names of 4 of the 5 victims. 6-year-old Zairia Mateen passed away, and her 2 sisters are still in the ICU. We've learned that 9-year-old Cordasia Jones is the cousin of LaFrederick Thurkill, principal at Orchard Knob Elementary School. 9-year-old Zoe Nash was in 4th grade, and 6-year-old Demayan Brown was a kindergartner at Woodmore Elementary.
The community came together tonight to remember the lives lost and pray for the children who remain in the hospital.
The memorial service was held at New Monumental Baptist Church near Woodmore Elementary. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Sidery spoke with some who attended tonight's service. Sarah?
Cindy, small signs of hope and healing are now beginning to emerge. We're told that tonight's memorial service was uplifting and focused on celebrating the young lives cut short. An emotional night remembering the 5 little lives lost from Woodmore Elementary School.
Very tragic. Like those poor babies, and we just want to come show our support and that we care and we want to bring our city together.
People from across Chattanooga packed inside New Monumental Baptist Church, just down the street from the elementary school, for a memorial service.
praying for the families of those killed, those in the hospital still fighting, and a grief-stricken community.
I mean, it was just a beautiful service. You know, the singing, the messages from the preachers, it was great.
Cameras were not allowed inside the church, where it was standing room only. Crowds huddled in doorways and outside to listen in, pray, and hope to begin healing.
At the end of the day, God is God, and God is in our life, and God is going to turn this situation around for the good. And I think that's what the families captured tonight, and I think that's awesome.
Governor Haslam is scheduled to visit Woodmore Elementary tomorrow to meet with the principal and teachers of students involved in the crash. In the studio, Sarah Sidery, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sarah. In all, 37 elementary school students were riding home on bus 366 when it crashed. 12 students remain in the hospital tonight. 6 of those are said to be in critical condition. The other 6 are said to be stable.
While police are conducting the criminal investigation, federal investigators have arrived in Chattanooga to make sure a crash like yesterday's doesn't happen again. Officials with the National Transportation Safety Board say they're here to look at all aspects of the crash, and they're asking for the public's help.
We have not spoken to the families yet, but that is part of what we are here to do, is to provide assistance to the families who lost loved ones in this crash.
National Transportation Safety Board agents began arriving on Tuesday. Their mission to fully investigate the crash of bus 366. In the next 7 to 10 days, they'll be viewing video and raw data if it exists, talking to witnesses.
We need that information, whether it's testamentary information like that or pictures, cell phone video, whatever you have. We have a witness in a car behind, for example. So any information like that is very important to us to conduct a complete investigation.
They'll pore over paperwork and study the scene and the physical wreckage. Interestingly, the bus was moved ahead of their arrival.
The question is, whose decision was it to move the vehicle and why was it moved? That would be the decision of the local authorities. They are conscientious about the need to open the road sooner rather than later if possible, and that happened actually before we arrived on scene, so we were not involved in that decision.
Director Christopher Hart says he does not believe they'll reach any conclusions before they leave Chattanooga, but what they learn and gather here will lead them that direction.
That we dig and dig and dig. We don't like to go home without the answer. We will determine what caused this accident, and we will make recommendations to try to prevent it from happening again.
The NTSB is asking any witnesses to the crash to contact them. You can write an email to the address that you see right there on your screen. That's witness@ntsb.gov. As the NTSB investigates, we're learning new details about the man who was behind the wheel. A Tennessee driving report indicates 24-year-old Jonathan Walker hit another vehicle while driving a school bus 2 months ago. No one was hurt. State records show Walker's bus sideswiped a car going in the opposite direction on Sylvan Drive. Walker got his commercial driver's license in April and started driving for Durham School Services in August. That's the bus contractor for the Hamilton County school system. We checked Walker's records and found he does not have a prior criminal record in Hamilton County or in any other parts of the state. Many say the pain of losing a child is like no other. 5 Chattanooga families lost children this week and are still trying to come to grips with the tragedy. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kelly McCarthy spoke to 2 moms who lost their babies in yesterday's crash.
None of them kids deserve that. None of them. My baby had a whole life ahead of her.
One of Jasmine Mateen's little girls died in Monday's school bus crash. 6-year-old Zaira Mateen was in 1st grade, and she was riding the school bus with her 2 sisters. Zasmine and Zakaria Mateen survived the crash, but are in the ICU.
Well, Zakaria has a concussion. She has injuries to the neck. She got a fracture to the spine. Zasmine, she got a concussion, injuries to the neck, bruises on her legs, and they haven't really gave me any updates on her legs, but my baby can't walk.
Mateen says she wrote a letter to the school weeks ago complaining about her children's bus driver.
I've been calling complaining about this bus driver since August.
Parents rushed to Tally Road Monday after hearing about the crash. Mother Diamond Brown says she watched as emergency crews removed children from the bus.
And they was pulling all the kids off the back of the bus. And I know my baby, he rides the front of the bus. And when they told me that they started from the back of the bus, I knew that my baby don't ride the back of the bus.
Her only child, 6-year-old Demayan Brown, did not survive the crash. She says she will now be fighting for justice for him.
I will be in every court hearing. I will be there front and center, grieving and all. I will be there because that was my only child that he took from me.
When we come back, we'll show you how the community is stepping up in a big way to help the bus crash victims and their families.
And if you're looking for a way to help, we'll show you a few different ways you can.
Welcome back. The Chattanooga community has come together to help the children and families affected by the Woodmore bus crash.
Many are giving food, they're giving teddy bears, or even donating blood. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Natalie Potts has more on the generosity of neighbors helping each other in this time of need.
Hundreds of people of all different ages and backgrounds showed up to give. This was the scene at Blood Assurance in Chattanooga just hours after the crash on Tally Road. The elementary school bus flipped over onto its side, claiming the lives of 5 innocent children on their way home. 6 more are in critical condition at Erlanger Children's Hospital, a community's worst nightmare.
It's sad. I have a daughter. I can't imagine her going to school, not coming back. So I feel for these families who have lost their sweet children.
Across the room, we find Lindsay Holt pulling herself together after a prayer with a stranger who's dealing with unspeakable pain.
She was a grandmother to one of the little girls that had lost their lives on the bus, and that was really emotional.
Family members of the victims in the crash and even family members of the fallen 5 have donated blood. The need for O-negative blood will be critical in the coming weeks. Your blood might not reach a child from the crash, but it will help.
We do know that the blood that is given here stays locally.
Some are collecting toys and teddy bears for the survivors. These volunteers are packing vans full of food and water for the teachers and students who came to class.
In tragedies like this, people want to have a way to show support, to show their love, to take action, and sometimes they feel powerless.
Megan Jones with Community Foundation of Greater Chattanooga warns others about the possibility of fake GoFundMe pages asking for money. She says it's best to verify the page or organization before you give. Channel 3 has verified the Woodmore Fund, set up by Hamilton County Schools in partnership with United Way and Community Foundation. It will directly support the victims and their families. Jones wants the victims' families to know an entire community is praying for them.
That we're holding you in our hearts, that we are grieving with you, and that we are sending you support and love.
If you'd like to donate to the Woodmore Fund, we have a link to the page on our website, WRCBTV.com. Also, you can text Woodmore to 91999.
And if you'd like to donate blood to Blood Assurance, you must be at least 18 years old. You can do it at 16 and 17 with a parent's permission. Must be at least 110 pounds and in good health. With so many donors, the organization asks that you make an appointment first. They are fully booked tomorrow, but they'd love to see you next week. Find more information about donating and a link to their page. We'll include the locations too at WRCBTV.com.
It was an emotional day back at school today for Woodmore students as they mourn the loss of their classmates. Teachers, counselors, and staff were on hand to greet students and their parents as they arrived for the start of the school day. We're told fewer than a third of the student body went to school today. Hamilton County's interim superintendent held a brief news conference before school and said staff members will do everything they can to help students get through this time.
Yesterday was the worst day that we have had for Woodmore and for Hamilton County schools that I can recall in my life as an educator and as a parent and as a member of this community. Our concerns today is for the children that we have lost and for their families and for the children who have been injured, for the students and the staff here at Woodmore.
Hamilton County schools will be closed tomorrow for Thanksgiving break, but Woodmore will be open for its children and families with teachers and counselors present and a hot meal. Again, Governor Haslam is also expected to stop by Woodmore tomorrow to meet with the principal and teachers and the students involved in the crash.
After a tragedy like yesterday's school bus crash, parents, teachers, and other caregivers may be wondering how to talk to their children about events like this. Experts say to help children express their emotions through conversation, through writing or drawing. Also, it's important, they say, to accept children's feelings and to let them know it's okay to feel sad or stressed. Most importantly, always pay attention and be a good listener. We'll be right back.
We just want to clarify something. We have been given the hours. Woodmore will be open tomorrow. It will be open from 8:30 in the morning until 11:30 in the morning. We want to make sure that families and friends and staff members know that is the case. 8:30 to 11:30 tomorrow. And that, of course, during that time span is when the governor will also visit. And we say thank you to the administrators who have gotten us that word. Now we check in with Paul Barris. Paul, a lot of people will be traveling tomorrow. What's it going to look like?
That's right. If you're traveling west, you're going to run into a little bit of rain. Not a lot, but a little bit. If you go into the other side of the Mississippi, you run into a lot more rain. But can you believe this? I was talking to a meteorologist out of town and telling him how dry it is around here. Can't believe it. 57th day since a 1/10 of an inch of rain. I think it was September 26th when we had that. Just remarkable how dry it is. This red line is a warm front, so the warmer air is starting to push in. Once again, temperature's going to respond tomorrow. All the showers well out to the west, especially out in West Tennessee. They're moving off towards the north and the east, so it's going to be a while before that moves in here, probably in about 24 hours or so. There's snow off to the north, Wisconsin. The roads are getting slick out there. Out near Little Rock, some pretty good thunderstorms starting to pop too. So we're going to see this moisture continue to push our way, which is something we haven't seen in a while. We've got hope for at least a little bit of rain coming up in the next 24 hours. Winds are west and at about 3 miles an hour, very light. 40 Dalton, 43 in Cleveland, 44 in the city, already 38 Athens, and 34 out near Murphy. Our high today was 59, 28 the overnight low. Forecast worked out well. Skywatchers told me 60 south of the city, 63 Dalton to 60 in Trenton, 61 Blue Ridge, and also in Chatsworth with 56 in Cleveland, 55 Riceville, Side Daisy, Lakeside, Canoodle, all at 60, 57 Lookout Mountain, Signal Mountain was 52. Then we had mid-50s from Spring City, about 56 in Dayton, and 56 also in 10 Mile, near 60 in Murphy, 58 Turtletown, and 59 in Jasper. Here's the latest Vipercast showing again that light wind for tonight, and then for tomorrow again, it's a little stronger wind, about 10 to 15. Clouds increasing throughout the day. They'll thicken up, some scattered showers, probably after 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Very light stuff. By 10 o'clock, very, very light rain. Could get a little heavier overnight, but not real heavy at all. By 8 o'clock in the morning, again, some sprinkles. They'll be ending. We'll start to see some breaks in the clouds into Thanksgiving afternoon. About a 1/10 of an inch of rain, I think, on average around here. Wouldn't be impossible west of the city. You could see maybe up to 2/10 in the Cumberland Plateau. Woodville, you're going to hit 64 tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies, and Scottsboro should be near 67 for this big traveling day. Tonight, though, just some clouds and 39. For tomorrow, 67, mostly cloudy, and a southerly breeze. The best chance for any showers will be tomorrow night. We'll give it about a 40% chance, 52 for that low. And then on the 7-day forecast, we're looking at Thursday at 67. Any showers in the morning will be ending on Thanksgiving Day. Shopping day on Friday, 67, and the sun comes back Saturday, 58. Sunday, we're looking at 63. On Monday, a slight chance for a shower late in the day, but a much better chance for that rain coming up on Tuesday. And some of that rain could go into Tuesday night and Wednesday, and that may be significant. Some of the computer charts are showing quite a bit of rain moving here, maybe up to a ½ inch to maybe a little more. Wouldn't that be something?
We'd throw a party,
I wouldn't
Paul
know what to
Bears.
do.
Everybody's going to be outside looking at it.
I know. I think everybody will.
Yeah. Paul, thank
Okay.
you.
Well, Dollywood turned into Hollywood tonight for the premiere of the NBC movie Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love. It's the sequel to Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors that came out last December.
Dolly Parton and cast members from the film walked down the red carpet along the park show street. Our very own Jill Jelnick was there as well and got to talk to a couple of the cast members.
Dollywood looked a little more like Hollywood Tuesday at the red carpet premiere of Dolly's new movie, Christmas of Many Colors. It's the first time the red carpet has been rolled out here at the family theme park, and a lot of sparkle and glitter went into making this holiday party a lot more Dolly.
Dollywood is normally closed on Tuesdays this time of year, but when Dolly decided to host the red carpet premiere in her own backyard, she couldn't help but share the celebration with all her guests. The theme park upped their staff, brightened up the lights, and rolled out the red carpet, same as any other movie premiere, proving that Hollywood doesn't have anything on Dollywood.
Hollywood and Dollywood, I love it. It is so exciting. This is my first time here, so I am really blown away. day. Yeah, really excited.
Has it met all of your expectations?
It has, and more. And my son Magnus, he's been having a blast too, which is great.
The fact that it's called Dollywood, you know, it's just like, you couldn't have it in Hollywood. I mean, Dollywood is more appropriate. And to be honest, this is better. I mean, this feels more like Dolly.
Dolly always says if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. And while her new movie illustrates some of those rain showers she overcame when she was younger, her home here in Dollywood is just one of the many rainbows she's created in her lifetime. You can watch the new movie Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love right here on NBC November 30th. From Dollywood, Jill Jelnick, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Jill.
Remember,
So glad
Coat
to
of
see
Many
that.
Colors was so popular, NBC replayed it last year. So hopefully this will build on that success.
So next week we'll be watching. Coming up next in sports, Chattanooga head coach Russ Huseman says perspective is key as the city continues to grieve.
Plus, the basketball Vols take 13th ranked Oregon to overtime in Hawaii. Paul Shaheen has highlights next in sports.
It's just not quite enough.
The latest college football rankings are out. The Southern Conference end of season awards are out. The Mocs open postseason play this weekend. So much to get to, but not without first acknowledging none of it matters when compared to the tragedy our community continues to deal with. Listen as head coach Russ Huseman uses a few words to sum up one word: perspective.
And that's exactly the first thing I thought about was, you know, wow, how important is this football game when you're dealing with lives and young kids and families. You know, I went home last night and, you know, Levi's my pray guy. Him and I, we like to pray together. And I went home and said, hey, Levi, did you hear about the kids on the bus accident? He said, yeah. And I said, fixing to pray for them tonight? He said, yeah, Dad, I already thought about that.
So as the Mocs keep things in perspective, they still have work to do as they get set for a home playoff game with Weber State on Saturday at 2. The Mocs say they gained some confidence playing Alabama as tough as they did last Saturday.
I didn't think the four games prior were our best. You know, I was glad that we competed against Alabama and kind of played like we did, because I think it will give us some confidence. But again, they understand what they got to do. We practiced really well last week. It wasn't because it was Alabama. It was because we figured out that we're not playing real well and we got to do other things better. But if we go out there and slop around at practice today and the rest of the week, we'll get our brains beat in this week.
Chattanooga Mocs also had 8 players on either the coaches or media all-conference teams. And Red Bank native All-American defensive end Keontae Davis was named Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Now to the latest college football playoff rankings. They're out, no change. Within the top 4, it's still Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Clemson. But keep in mind, Michigan and Ohio State play in Columbus Saturday at noon. That's a big one. Clemson plays South Carolina, and Alabama is in the Iron Bowl with Auburn. The big change in the top 10 is that Louisville drops from the top 10, number 5 to number 11 after losing to Houston. Washington, your new number 5. Wisconsin, Penn State, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Oklahoma State round out your top 10. The Tennessee Volunteers are still 0-for in Hawaii at the Maui Invite. That said, they have kept it interesting against 2 top 25s. Earlier today, they had 13th ranked Oregon. Tied at the half, tied at the end of regulation, so overtime we go. This is Robert Hubbs III slamming it home for a 2-point Tennessee lead. Under a minute, tied at 65. This is a dagger. Deep look from Dylan Brooks. It goes. Ducks by 3. Watch the look on Brooks' face. That says it all. What? That was the difference. Dietrich Mostella had a game-high 22, but the Vols go down 69 to 65.
You said highlights. I was confident you were going to show us the Tennessee win.
I had a highlight from. Did I say plural?
Tennessee will keep trying. That's right. That's it for sports. Paul Bears has your 7th-day forecast when we get back.
We should see more clouds for tomorrow. Let's look at some of those temperatures on our planner. We've got getting into the mid to upper 60s though. I think the rain will hold off to probably after dark tomorrow. And on the 7-day, 67 for the next 3 days. Showers ending Thanksgiving morning, and then a dry day Friday. Pretty nice weekend, and a real good chance for rain coming up Monday night and Tuesday.
It's nice to see those rainy clouds in the forecast.
So.
Yeah.
A familiar face returned to NBC's The Voice tonight. See if you recognize it.
Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise me.
His voice is as dazzling as ever. Former Lee University student Jordan Smith returned to The Voice tonight, singing a song from his new Christmas album. He won the singing competition last fall and was there tonight as the 11 remaining contestants were whittled down to 10. We remember the drama of it and always felt Jordan Smith would win it.
Between Dolly and Jordan, I think the Tennessee, Kentucky area has a lock on NBC for the holiday season.
Say so. Looks good.
That'll
And
do it
Christmas
for-
CDs.
Yes,
Yeah.
Christmas CDs. That's important. That's it for Eyewitness News at 11.
Have a great night.
The latest college football playoff rankings are out. The